only what like I need to use to do what I'm trying to do.
Mhm.
Also, I know how to Google things. I know how to like go online and ask Google like how to do this. Like how to do this. All right. We're live. We are live. What's good, Twitches? We got Marc Schied with us today.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. Now you have. So we're just gonna play some tunes. All right. So we got the B part down. The A part is really easy. It's just. You I received and forgot the same. I wish what I wanted had a name. Like you, 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 you. The message I repeat, and it's not the same. I wish what I wanted had a name. Webs that we've been weaving. Transition from the end.
What was that chord? That one right before the, what do you call the transition chord?
So the transition are these asterisk things.
Okay.
So you notice they both go to E minor, add 9, and then in the verse we're gonna go here and we'll go to the wait, what was it? I don't remember it now. Wow, how am I blanking on that? Okay, I remember it now. Alright, so this is the E minor add 9. This E flat 7, I guess. And then on the other one, instead, so this transition goes, right, so switching out of the B part and back into the A part, you just switch around so that so like kind of naturally like flows you back in, and then into the outro, and
How I get it.
this is the only song I do that ends on a 1, like this, literally. And it's because the 1 chord is not the chord I start on, so I gave myself the pass. I was like, okay, you can end on the 1 for
You don't
this.
have to justify ending on the 1 too.
Because almost every other song I have, it does not do that. But anyway.
You want to try it again?
Yeah, for sure.
So, wait, is this the whole tune, like lyrically?
Oh, lyrically, you would you like me to zoom it out so you can see?
Then I can't read it. So
Yeah.
but
So
all right. Well, you'll just cue it like you've been doing, and now I know it a little better.
yeah, and I think you picked up the feel pretty naturally. So I don't know if I'm just imagining that.
No,
yeah, it seemed like you had a good feel. So we'll just wing it.
Yeah, swing it again. Maybe we get lucky.
All right. Looking for a friend, searching with a broken heart that's been falling through the cracks. It hardens into glass like hot sand. I'm on the right path, but it's hard not looking back too far. I wanted had a name. Lizard written in the sky, constellations in the night, all year round, all rhythms in the tide. Figures we contrive when we see clouds, those patterns of change. Don't fathom the names we assign them, they'll have it their way. They go laughing and playing while we hide it. And webs that we've been weaving, a sentence incomplete. Amidst all this change, I wish what I wanted had a name. The message is repeating in lessons I receive, and forgot the same. Well, I wish what I wanted had a name. It is you. Got the same. I wish what I wanted had a name. Like you. The message I repeat. Forgot the same. Switch, I wish what I wanted had a name. The webs that we've been weaving. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. It's a nice tune.
Thank you. I like to throw in little tricks there just to keep people guessing.
It's all tricks.
Including myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, amen. And it is all tricks. Alright, let's see if I refresh you. Are you still going to stay unstable? No, of course not. You're excellent. Cool. You want to see another one? Or you want to go to the song list? If I pick, it's definitely going to be this stuff, because I have just about enough of that song list.
Well, that's like our day job. This is
Yeah.
This is our creative moment.
Yeah, you bet. Oh, okay. I think you like this one, because you like jazz, and this one, I did my best to approximate jazz.
Cat song.
Yeah, the cat song, Perspective. So,
That D to A to E business, like so in the verse it goes E, C sharp, and then D to A to E. I've been studying that chord progression, the fourths, because once you start, it's in like so many songs.
Yeah, so I was trying to make it sound like what I thought like a song from like the Mr. Rogers soundtrack would sound like.
Mm-hmm.
So alright, and then we got the chorus. Aha. Alright, I broke my rule. Usually I like to start with the bridge because, at least in my songs, the bridge tends to be the most complicated section. So it's. Which I guess I actually had some sense here where I wrote just really simplified this C sharp minor, G sharp, A, A7. Yeah, I think that'll work for you. Switch out the 6 for the 1.
And those are like on the beat.
So the rhythms.
So that one's anticipated. Third bar, third time.
So anticipated means like a little before.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like when,
Anticipated means a little before the beat. You learn something new every day.
yeah. Yeah, usually in an eighth note, when someone says anticipated downbeat, it's jump.
Oh.
That's the anticipation. Anticipated downbeat. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 1. It's on the
Okay.
and before the 1. That's anticipated. So you would write with an eighth note tied over into the downbeat. So it hits before, and that's anticipation.
Anticipation. You learn in Kung Fu, you don't want to anticipate. You don't anticipate in Kung Fu. But in music, it's okay.
Oh, you know Kung Fu?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm a black belt.
And
I got a black belt.
literally, your belt is literally black. Nice.
I know Kung Pao. I'm a master of Kung Pao.
Chicken?
Yep.
Nice.
No, I'm vegetarian.
Oh yeah, you are. You're not a master of Kung Pao at all.
I graduated from chicken to tofu and veg.
You a big fan of tofu?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of tofu. Well, fresh tofu is much better, and it's what you do with it.
I like silk tofu. The stuff you put the syrup in. It's like really soft. You eat it with like a spoon.
The silken,
Silken? Yeah.
maybe. You get it fresh. I mean, there's tofu and there's tofu. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, do you like guitar strings? It's like, or
Yeah.
do you like guitar as well? Some of them are better than others,
Yeah, fair enough.
and there's their love. Was it made with love?
Amen. There was a really good vegan restaurant in Great Barrington that closed down, unfortunately.
Son of a...
Elixir.
Damn it.
It was like the shit. And it was like a little tea house, and you just went in there, and they had a menu, but if you were like down with her name's Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
Really amazing, like witch lady.
Mm-hmm.
And you sit down, and she just like serve you, like she
Yeah.
just bring out the food.
Right.
It wasn't like
off the menu.
Yeah,
Whatever was going.
Yeah.
The first amazing food I've had since being up here is a Yummy Kitchen.
Yummy
Thai.
Kitchen. Yes. Where is that again?
They're serving at. It's a food truck, and then it's at the cidery at Berry Farm.
Okay, no, I haven't eaten there.
In Chatham, where we should also play. They have music there.
Okay.
The cidery.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, I should.
Looks like this. It's a farm.
Yeah, I should be a little bit more gun ho about getting some shows lined up for us.
But that food.
Yummy Kitchen
at the cidery.
Is it like actually vegetarian, or they just have solid vegetarian options?
Right, it's the second thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's. I don't know what meat they have, but they have everything.
Nice.
I mean, they have a small menu, but there's meat and veg. But it's like for real. It's like beautiful food.
Dope.
As a New York snob, I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. This area is like you don't have nearly as many options, and authenticity might leave something to be desired. But when a place does have that authentic flavor profile, the ingredients are also so much cleaner and more substantial that eggs, for example,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You get a bacon, egg, and cheese. It's just like life changing out here.
Proper egg.
Yeah.
Actual egg. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like bite to it.
Yeah, and the corn when it's in season, and the berries and everything. Garlic. Real garlic. The garlic up by us in the fall is incredible. Life-changing garlic.
Oh, we got a follow. We got a new follower. The Lieutenant Lumpy. Thanks, Lieutenant Lumpy. Oops.
Wait till Lieutenant hears the cat. So why is it called the cat song?
So there's this lady, Heather Fish. She's like one of the auxiliary members of the Hotties. And she wrote or co-wrote with mainly with the drummer at the time, and she wrote this beautiful rock opera, and there's a character that I played named the Cat, and he just has one song, and it's like this song is hiding the secret to unlocking the world saving paradigm shift that the main character manages to bring into the world to save them from some dystopian future. So it was called the Future Ball, and yeah, I was the cat. This was the cat song in it, and it was I'd already been working on it, and I was like, oh, I think I can kind of judge this into something that feels like a part of a rock opera or something. And so I'm really happy because that's what inspired the bridge. And actually at that time the bridge sounded a lot different than I have since judged the bridge away from that. Because before it's ugh. Yeah, it was show me, show me, show me. Yeah, show me where the love is gone. Okay, so show me where the love is gone. Self-love for myself. You see, it's a little bit straighter, but more legible. Like you can hear it and understand what the whole gang is saying, and people can sing along, because it was a gang vocal, so people could follow that easier. But now it's then that's the whole song. It's just like a loop. What's good, Vex? Thanks for dropping in. I love the T-Rexes. Appreciate you. It's my friend Vex. They're in the chat.
Oh, hey Vex.
Yeah.
I'm new guy.
This is Mark. I'm Lee, by the way. I don't know if you know my name. That's what Little Idea stands for. I've been at a war with. Glad you could be here. The grass never seemed much greener nor dead. Should I settle this score within myself? The glass won't feel so damn empty. Everything we are as memories and stars never seem so far from the real thing we all are. When I've been at a war with myself again, the grass never seemed much greener nor dead. Should I settle this score within myself? The glass won't feel so damn empty. Dreaming everything we are as memories and stars. They never seem so far from the real thing we all are. Verse. Show me where the love is gone from myself. Know where to start. Looking for love from myself. I should have cued you. I'm so sorry. Tell me where the love belongs in myself, and I'ma go with the heart. Looking for love from myself. Myself, whom I've been at a war with. The grass has been so damn green. Should I settle this score? The glass won't feel so damn empty. I won't feel so empty. I won't feel so. You wanna try one more time?
Yeah. I forgot which bass I was playing. If I was playing a 4 or a 5.
Oh,
But you get some cool harmonies that way as a bass player.
amen. I love that fifth string. It's just like a earthquake machine.
Maybe
I hope you don't mind, Vex. We're gonna play it one more time. For the record. Appreciate you. I've been at a war with myself again. The I've been at a war with myself again. The grass never seemed much greener nor dead. Should I settle this score within myself? The glass won't feel so damn empty, and dreaming every day we are as memories and stars. They never seem so far from the real thing. We all are first. Of course. And we're going to the bridge. Show me where the love belongs in myself. I gotta know where to start. Looking for love from myself. And tell me where the love belongs in myself. And I'ma go with the heart. Looking for love from myself. Myself, whom I've been at a war with. And the grass has been so damn green. Should I settle this score? The glass won't feel empty, and I won't feel so empty. I won't feel so. So, if anticipated is an eighth note ahead, what's when do you drop in on like a rest? When you come in on a
Yeah,
rest?
that's a logical question.
What's the opposite?
I'm not used to. Yeah. I mean, it's almost after the beat. I guess I would say it. But I mean, to me, it's like as a rhythm player in rhythm section, like for your chart, it's like what's on the beat and what's anticipated.
Okay. So
You know?
you just need to know it's anticipated because it's gonna be early.
Yeah,
But
and
you
either
don't
that or it's
necessarily-
on the beat. Like that's kind of my world as a bass player. So in your verse, there's E on the beat, anticipated, on the beat, anticipated, right? And on the bridge, it's on the beat, second, anticipated, on the beat. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that I don't know if the second one is anticipated or not, but that's kind of that's how we that's I think how people talk.
I got you, because you notice the bridge, it comes in on a rest. So like,
that's anticipated too. Then yeah.
oh.
So play it again from the chorus. I'll count.
So,
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Oh, it comes in after the beat.
yeah, so it's like a.
It's on a 2.
It's like the and of 2. 2.
Right. I guess I would say off the downbeat.
Off
So
the
and yeah,
okay, off the beat.
you know, it's not an articulated downbeat. It's either on the beat, or it's anticipated, or it's off the downbeat.
I love it. Okay,
I think
cool.
that's how I would say it.
Off the beat.
Off the beaten path.
Hey.
You want to do something with like either a loop or a drum machine for funsies?
Do I have a drum machine? Is the question? Yes, I do. I have. Okay.
I know you've got one in there.
Yeah, I can show you some of the stuff I've been working on.
Show me things.
I can show you some songs. Thank you for the hearts, Vex. And thanks for hanging with us. That's odd. Okay, let's see. What do we got? So my goal is like I'm gonna like have all these guitar tracks made, and then I'm just gonna go in to do these vocal sessions where I just like try to one take all these songs like one at a time.
That's what Miles Davis did.
Yeah, try to get the energy right.
He said, "Play good because you're only doing one take. You're gonna have to listen to it for the rest of your life."
Amen.
So there's mistakes on those records, but there's no lack of attention. And yet, from doing from studio days, not now where it's sort of infinite, but when it was like tape, and you go into the studio, somebody would always mess up on take one, and take two would be pretty good, but there'd be some little thing, and then you keep going, and then you always go to take two.
Yeah.
Because there was still some feeling of freshness.
Yeah.
But there was no like train wreck as there was in take one. And then after take two, it starts going like people start hating everything. It's gone.
It's like, I think, Duke Ellington or no, Coltrane maybe it was of like, if you don't get it, you do one take, you listen, you take notes. You do the second take, and if you don't get it, you go home and try again the next session.
Oh, it's good.
Like
that's good.
Like it's like 2 takes. If you don't get it in 2 takes, then it's gonna be two. It's not. You loses that, which is why for the hotties even I would love having mostly new songs, if not completely new set lists per show.
Oh Jesus.
Like when we started, like we would have like 9 new songs to learn per show.
Mm-hmm.
Until like once we had like 4 shows, then we had a songbook kind of to go through. But it was because like we'd come into each show and it'd have that like I don't know if we're gonna make it like feel, and that like people feed on that energy of like that uncertainty and where it's not rehearsed because it has like a rawness about it where you're like fighting for your life to like not make a mistake, and people dig that. I think. I mean, there's something to be said about how you call it, something super well rehearsed as well. But I think that becomes really detrimental for a different reason.
It runs that risk.
All right, so I'll play it first without the drums. So here, this is a song called Black Canary. Oh, I'm sorry. This part's in D flat, and it's in D now. Also, D flat's not a key. Is this?
Sure it is.
It's not C sharp?
It's either one.
Oh, they both work.
Well, D flat is less. They both work. Yeah. I mean, there's more music written in D flat than there is C sharp. Traditionally, but guitar players only do the sharp. So, right? You have to write an F and B flat, E flat. Every guitar player I know is always dealing with sharps.
No, the only reason I dealt with sharps Sorry, these are dated charts. But so
Well, it's catching the hits. It's catching the rhythms.
yeah, so uh, 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 so when we get to the second one, like this one's like extra anticipated versus the first one, right? Because this one kind of follows the same rhythm as these things. Dun, 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 dun. This one's extra. Dun, dun, dun,
Uh-huh.
dun, dun.
Right, so the
dun.
B is delayed.
Yeah. Is it?
Because of D's.
So the A is in the same part.
Right,
place,
right?
But
That's the way I heard it.
I think of it as the A being earlier, but I think
maybe
you're
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the B's in the same spot. I think the A is earlier.
Let's loop the chorus.
What do you think?
I see if I can play it. I don't know.
Oh,
It's a hard one.
the feel, the hits, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so the words will go. Take me low, I made it this far. I just think I'm something and I'm a golden dream. Take me low, I made it this far. I just think I'm something dream. So that's why they're weird, because like they're lining up with words,
Right.
for me.
Right.
And also it's like a 3-bar thing instead of, so like everything just feels like really rushed and frantic. But yeah, it's like it's supposed to feel like you're trying to catch like a bird, like a really small bird.
Have I even hesitate to ask the next question, but can you write stuff? I mean, have you had like training in traditional?
No, would you train me in how to write this stuff? Yeah.
I mean, because I don't think it would be that hard, and then the charts would be clear. You could put it down in front of anybody.
I would love that. Yeah, dude. I used to cut my theory classes so I could play guitar. So, and it's like one of my biggest regrets. I'm like, damn, why didn't I just go to those theory classes?
And I say, I mean, I could tell you weren't going to be offended by the question or anything like that. I mean, like McCartney and Lennon are like probably the greatest songwriters of the 20th century, and they couldn't write out music.
Yeah.
So how did that affect their creativity in a way? Not that everybody who can't write music is going to be a great songwriting team, but I mean, like did you see Get Back?
Like I've seen fragments of it. I've never
8 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's times where like, oh, we'll do this bit and then this bit and then it comes into, I'm just like, oh, somebody write out a fucking chart. But that's only because I've been dealing with, anticipation. Is that a 3/4 bar and this is a half note triplets or whatever. Yeah. So like everything, all of this could be written down and it's easy, or you play it enough, or you vibe it, or it's a little loose and you eventually get it. But just like in this situation, or if you're like recording or presenting or playing with somebody or speaking to like different new musicians, to say, oh, here's my rhythm chart, not even writing out every note, but having just here's the chords, it's in 4,
Mm.
And the chords are on the downbeat. This one's anticipated. These are, you know.
Yeah, I'd love to integrate that as a part because that's like what's missing is that like
Send me this.
All right.
Send me this tune and that chord chart.
All right, bet.
And I will put it into a chord chart with hits.
Cool.
And we'll see if I can. I think I can. And then see if I can explain it to you, which I also think I can.
Awesome.
And see if you like it. And see if you want to pursue it.
Freaking love that. Well, it's a necessity because that's what's missing from these charts is being able to give this to a drummer and have them like
he'd kill you. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd love.
Because you're doing that with the dots. You're trying to show.
Yeah.
You know, you're devising your own, and it's like you're doing it on whatever Google
Doc.
Google Doc. Yeah, you're figuring out a way, and maybe that's cool, and you know, to do it on. Well, yeah, I mean, I do it on. There must be a Muse score or a way to do it, basically for free. That just shows.
Well, I have also I have this program Power Tab.
Don't know it. Oh, tab. Okay.
Yeah, so it lets you tab the stuff. So I could, but what holds me back is like in order to use it, when you're making the tab, you actually have to like tell it what note you're putting in. It's like, okay, it's gonna go into this, and it's this kind of note, and that's where it's like that slows down the workflow so much for me because like rhythmically I can't correctly devise what I've done here.
Well, do you want to do it together? Do we have time?
Hell yeah. I mean,
it's not what I came here for, but I mean, if you're into it, let's see if we can. I can show you a little just a regular piece of paper and pencil or pen. Pencil's better.
I think I have stock paper too.
Well, I mean, I'm not even going to be. We don't even need it.
All right, bet.
Yeah. Where are we writing on? Here?
We can write on there. Maybe this one?
Nah.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, there's fine.
Yeah. Okay, bet. Grab your pen
and your guitar. There's a pen. Old 20th century.
Good eye, Mike.
Good eye. Good eye, Mike. All right, so we're gonna do this in D, right?
Yeah.
So what do you want to? Let's just chart. Let's do that chorus since that's hairy.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Now it's in pen. I gotta get it right. So play for me a little bit slower.
4.
Okay, stop. So right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, dum, bum, right?
Yeah.
So it's.
Is that anticipated?
Mm-hmm. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. The whole thing from D. Good. Okay. So yeah, anticipated.
So it's like before the 1 and before the 2.
Yeah. Right. So B minor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens?
Same feel.
And then it goes to the minor, right? Okay, hang on. Let's see if I can get that. So. I think I got it. So the first line of that chorus, is it dum do three ba da ba ba ba?
Yeah.
Okay, so we do got it. So do you know these squiggles? You know, like quarter notes and eighth notes and shit like
Yes,
that?
quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, 32nd notes. I know. Anything.
That's all you need to know. Yeah, and then triplets and stuff like that. But this is all just an eighth note. This is just eighth notes and quarter notes. So 1, 2,
Like I
3,
wouldn't even know
and 4,
how do you write
and 1 and
how do you even write a triplet? I don't even know.
we can get to that later. I mean, you take it's just dividing whatever unit, say a quarter note, dividing into 3.
Okay.
So quarter note you divide it into half, you get 2 eighth notes, right?
Wait, I'm gonna bring the mic around so this gets spit straight knowledge.
Okay. So we got a quarter note,
Yeah.
so called because we're dividing a bar,
Yeah.
a 4 into 4 quarters, like a dollar goes in 25 cents. So these are, and then dividing that quarter in 2 equal parts, da, 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 or one, and. So triplet, to fill up the space of the quarter, we just write it like that. Da, 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 da,
Okay,
da,
so
da,
you
da,
have to
da,
put
da,
this
da.
3 though,
Yep.
so that you know it's not just 3 eighth notes.
And then swing, you can take that same triplet, dot, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, and that's swing. Or shuffle.
Yeah.
Doom ba 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 1 2 3 1 2 3 doom da da da, as opposed to 1 and 2 and triplet triplet triplet
the beginning and the end of
yeah,
each.
2/3 and 1/3. So that, and you would write the triplet sign. So your, can we go back to your song?
Yeah.
Get rid of that panel.
Yeah, I had to do that so I can have the notebook cam on the stream.
Oh, the notebook cam. All right, so let me count you and you play the first line of the chorus, right? 1 2 3 4. 1 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that's G minor.
Yeah.
G minor major 7?
No, just
G minor.
G minor.
Great. Okay, and now the second line.
All right, so now.
Okay, 1 2 3 down. 1 1 2 3 down. It does come earlier, as you know. Play it again, please. Okay, so this one is a half note, D, and then off the 16th note. 1 2 3, right?
Yeah.
And then the B is on the beat. That gives it. So it's tied to a. Let's see. Let me get this right. So that leaves us with a dotted eighth note. That's tied to a quarter note. This looks worse than it is. And then the B. Okay, so D. 2 3.
Is that on the one?
I think so. I conduct. I mean, they. 1 2 3 and boom. That's all down. It's a downbeat. That's all that matters to me as a bass player. Because is it a boom or is it a? Yeah. That's it. Is it down or is it upward? I had a college professor said upbeat is buoyancy, and the downbeat is down to the earth, and that's ba-doom boom bam ba-dum.
Yeah.
Down down down, go down up or down up.
Yeah.
So it's gravity and defying gravity.
That's dope.
Dopeness. Dopey. B minor. So play that second bit of the chorus, eh? I know it's a.
Thank you, Vex, for hanging out while we talk theory and stuff.
It devolved into. Sorry, Vex.
No. Please.
It just went there. It
evolved.
evolved into something.
Evolved into devolution.
This.
Oh, but I appreciate you hanging out. Thanks for stopping in. All right.
And then maybe it's like that. Maybe it's like that again. We'll see.
Okay, so
second. Do the whole chorus. Okay. One more time. This is the second part of the chorus.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Do the whole chorus. Is it the same that F sharp and G?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. No, it's off the downbeat the second time. I'm pretty sure. Let me see.
Oh, so it's late.
Delayed.
you're
no.
right.
1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's just, then it's like before.
No, I don't think it is.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Delay. So it's just
1,
after.
2, 3. 2, 3, 4. 1. Bum bum. One more. Whole chorus. One more time.
Wait. Oh, so those ones aren't early either. Yeah, so it is the same as the first one, but neither of them are early. They're hitting after the. Wait. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, you're right.
It's the same. It's the same. Yeah. Cool. All right, so now you got a chart you can hand to somebody.
Yeah, I'm almost certain there's a way to bring musical notes into some kind of rhythmic cueing into this. Or I can just create them as an image and bring the image in. If I want to stay on
I mean,
dots.
so like chord chart as opposed to like a whatever you got, whatever we call this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Chord.
because usually when I see that, it's with the lyrics. You know,
Uh-huh.
so the chord changes are hitting with the words.
Yeah.
It's not showing meter. It's not showing note value, but you can kind of tell if it's a song with words that this chord goes with that word.
Yeah.
But this is a little messy, but it's kind of it does graphically show. Here, my thing about standard notation is like it is a hurdle for people and people who want to play, you know. But then whether it's tab or some other thing, it's like nothing got invented. I mean, now it's easy to record things. You could just say, "Here, listen to it."
Well,
so you could give me recordings and I would go listen to it and make my own parts. But there's a kind of power in showing like this, like standard notation. Even if you're not writing out every note for the player, but this to any rhythm section player, this is showing where the notes, where the chords are, and any like, and you know, it sounds like, and your tunes have, you know, like some non-standard things. Just having a 3-bar phrase can throw people.
yeah. So, it does. Yeah, for sure. My solution was essentially gonna be like. Which I think there's even technology now within this program. I could just literally convert this into MIDI information, and then convert that MIDI information into.
But then you still have to sort of know. There's still like I could teach you how to like edit it, so it even if that's doing it all for you, I'm sure you'll have to edit it to make sure it's not gobbledygook.
Yeah.
And then it's clear because a lot of this is convention. You know, like showing. Like this bar is written correctly. You can see first beat, second beat, third beat. So no ties across the middle of the bar. You should always be able to like draw a dotted line down the middle of the bar so you see the symmetry of it. If it's in 4/4, you want to see every beat. If it's in 3, you want to see 3 things. You know, and sometimes like computers don't understand that. Even good programs. I mean, the better programs like I do my stuff on Sibelius or Finale or the new one Dorico. Tries to think, you know, or do the conventions that humans have come up with. But a lot of it is making sure it optically, even the spacing of measures, you know, everything is written for the human brain to process the symbols. And so it's easy, like the chart is easy to play. So honestly, that chart is hard for me to play. I'm a good player, but that chart is hard for me to play.
You're a great player. And this song is sufficiently complicated enough.
It kind of merits.
Yeah.
If you now, you know, like you send me this, Lee. I'll make a chart. I'll come back and I'll destroy it.
Yeah.
And I'll have fun.
Yeah.
And I'll play off of it because I'll know that I'll be able to really hit that because I know it's there and I know the difference between these 2 bars and those 2 bars.
Yeah. That's dope.
And that's a tricky thing you did because it's otherwise the same.
How you mean?
Well,
by having
bars,
this switch up here.
Yeah, bars 2 and 3 bar 3 is the same both times. Bar 1 is the same chords, but a different rhythm.
Yeah. Except this is a G minor, D major. It's a G major 7 on the second time.
Right. So that's even trickier. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Now, would the Beatles have, would it have slowed them down? So I heard that in the beginning, Paul and John, they couldn't write anything. Melodies. They couldn't.
Mhm.
They could write the lyrics and the chords.
yeah,
They didn't write the rhythms, and they didn't write the melodies and the harmonies. So they would, in the early days, they would write something, and if they couldn't remember it the next day, the melody, they figured it wasn't catchy enough and it wasn't a good enough song.
yeah. That's I guess that's the boat.
So they have lyrics. They have lyrics. Had lyrics, and when they went back to it, they're like, "Shit, we got to do an album." So they were pulling out old songs, like One After 909 on the last album is actually an old Beatles song. They couldn't. They would forget if it, So they weren't able to. Well, they didn't have recorders in
Yeah.
the late '50s, handy, and they didn't have musical knowledge. So I don't know if this stuff. There's probably a drawback to knowing how to do this or thinking because it restricts your thinking in a way.
I think that's.
But there's an advantage to like saying, "Oh, you want to play this in my studio? Here's a chord chart."
I think
like,
that's
cool.
The excuse most people use for not learning this is to say like, well, I don't want to be restrained by the rules because I want to create freely, and I think it's the opposite. Actually, you're actually restraining yourself more by not having any kind of I learned enough. I just stopped short of learning staff, which is like like honestly, I'm like one online course away from like in a couple weeks knowing how to. It's just been like a you know what I mean, like a something I've had on the shelf for a while. Like okay, I need to learn that at some point. And then I had actually worked with another bassist, a Berkeley guy, who like convinced me. He was like, oh, you don't need that, man. Like like he's like you're fine. Like
well, your thing is fresh sounding. It's original sounding. So maybe he was keying into that. It's like,
maybe, but what I think ultimately is when I learned guitar theory, like I learned how to look at a chord and tell what chord I'm playing. It didn't stop me from still making chords the way I did before, which is visually. And like I was just like, okay, what if I took my fingers and did this with them instead of this? Like so it doesn't stop me from doing that and experimenting in that way. It just like helps me that after I've done that, I can be like, oh, that's cool. That sounds nice. Why does that sound nice? And I can like
guitar is a particularly hard instrument for that. Yeah. You guys play in altered tunings and stuff like that.
I don't do that. No,
right.
I don't.
But I mean, like, if you were to play that music on piano, you would have to. It's a little more visual. You can sort of see. Oh, this is an E chord with a C sharp minor on top. Or,
yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at a grid.
You're looking at a grid, and it's like you have to. Oh, that's cool. What is that? Okay, that's E. That's B. That's
exactly.
And I'm as a bass player, like I'm in the other end of things. Like I'm thinking about each note, or in a scalar term. I'm not playing chords, so and I have to play the root. So I'm very like, okay, what do I? Even if I'm gonna play free and have fun, it's more fun if I'm hitting with you,
understanding where,
until I know it, and then I don't need it.
And then, the other thing was like, it got rid of shooting in the dark. So now I could write songs a lot quicker. Like I can get to what I was trying to go for a lot faster because I understood the basic pattern that underlied the chord progression, and thusly I could also deviate from it more intentionally. It's like, no, obviously going, in this case it worked going 1-5-6, but if I want to not do that, like I know that I'm doing a 1-5-6 and I'm like, oh, that sounds too conventional. I'm gonna hit this flat 6 instead here. And I'm gonna make that chord this, so it sounds extra off, and then I can create not compensation. What's the word? Like I can create like it's like on the tip of my tongue, like
give me a hint.
Like there's a reason why it's there. I can create this
justification. No.
Yeah, similar to that, but maybe not so serious. And I like it's like relevance, but that's not the word. But but we can use that, right? I can create relevance for that by having that ugly chord lead into this chord.
Justification? No, I give up.
Yeah, me too. But just to say, like, I'm now when I write songs, it's a lot faster because I'm not doing this shooting in the dark thing. No, not that, not that, not that. Like some of these songs took me so long to write because I didn't know guitar theory, and then like,
So you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chord.
yeah, yeah,
Roman numeral and
and
how
so
they relate to a key signature or a key.
exactly,
Uh-huh.
right. And then once I understood that, like also learning songs so much faster. Obviously, when a song throws in like a curveball, like then I kind of might struggle, but like it got my ear to key in onto those concepts, and it was like I just learned that way too late in my playing, and then it allowed me to go back into songs and like iron out certain things that maybe were bugging me, but I didn't have the tools to a like pinpoint what it was that was bugging me about it, and b adjust it. And then what you said about melody, like change my melody, like how does my what am I singing, how does that sit on the chord? Now I'm not like sending out this amorphous blob of words with notes attached to them. Like it's like, oh, I am trying to travel this chord progression with this sentence, and so I need to hit this note, and then by the time I get to this chord I ought to be going up to this note, because and so
Well, everything's in relationship.
and
So melody is in relationship to harmony, which is in relationship to rhythm.
and it
Right.
got rid of like so many things that were just like, and I mean I'm still growing as a vocalist, and I still have a long way to go. Like, you know, I'm sure I'll watch this back and be like, oh, but at the same time, like I now like I can be more intentional about where I'm singing as well. So like this idea that like learning this stuff holds you back or is gonna make you more um, restrained as a creatively, it's like for in my experience, anytime I've taken that jump into learning a little bit more about the craft and mastering it better, it has done like the opposite of restraining me. Like,
Yeah. Since when is learning something in your field
yeah,
gonna hold you back?
yeah, like,
And especially as you get older, it's like you want to use it or lose it. You want to keep building synaptic connections.
yeah.
You want to keep the fire burning. You
Why
want to
not?
do new stuff.
And it's like, you know, if you're an architect, you're not gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna learn, you know, these physics. Like that stuff will just bog you down. I'm just gonna make the building.
Or I think of like cooking. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you could like just sort of like go through the kitchen and be throwing stuff, not measuring, and make something incredible. But then, okay, do that. Can you make it again?
Amen. Yeah.
Probably not. I'll
Yeah.
try. And it comes out like crap.
Yeah. So, I really appreciate you sitting down with me and doing, like, this is a phrase that's tricked musicians I've worked with for, you know, years. So it's awesome to like have somebody be like, no, we're fucking writing this down.
Yeah, in terms of your tech, I mean, you could, I don't know what's available, but I mean, you could actually do it with pencil and paper and then, you know, scan it in for a while and then, you know, figure out the tech later, but get it in your mind that you're.
No, I need to take a, like I said, I need to take a course. That's what that shows me. I need to just learn all my symbols really well,
Oh, take it with me, man.
practice and write it.
I'll teach you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bet.
It's free. I'm not going to charge you, but I mean, you could take a course, but I mean, the thing is like, you tell me what you want to know. Like, I'm like, I think you need to know this, and you're like, well, actually, I'm really interested in that, and then we'll sort of get there. It's just rhythm, really, and meter, and yeah, like this business, you know, like whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, eighths, sixteenths, triplets,
Oh, I think also
and syncopations. That's it. That's everything.
one thing too is like you're just charting the changes of the chords.
Mhm.
You're not charting necessarily what I'm playing, and I think that's what was also kind of daunting for me. It's like, you know, this chorus is
A
pretty
strumming
straightforward,
pattern.
but
Yeah.
like yeah.
Right, so that's very intricate. Also, I'm coming at it from, I think, a rhythm section point of view, which is
Yeah.
different from you as a composer and you as a frontman and a guitarist.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so those first three beats, you know, to a drummer, it's like something else. This is something I don't know how to do. It's like, so what's that feel? It's like a halftime funk? I don't know, or a rock feel? Like
Yeah.
getting even this chart that says, let's say it's halftime rock feel. You know, you hand that to a drummer, and quarter note equals 80, whatever that was.
Okay.
Halftime rock, 80. Dun, 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 like now we're in the ballpark, but that's a mystery. That's a mystery to me.
Yeah. No, it's a mystery to me too. And this is, now they look more like what you've seen with the Hotties chord charts. But even that, again, is just leaving out. And I love what you said too. Is the same point I've made about tabs. Is like the one thing they're missing is that they don't have that rhythmic information.
Which is
Yeah.
the most important thing probably in music is rhythm.
Arguably.
Arguably.
Credit to Ultimate Guitar. I think their professional charts will have some kind of cue of like
Yeah, I've only seen the free version.
rhythmic
Those
stuff.
charts make me crazy. I'll
Yeah.
show you what I've done with the Hottie. I don't have my iPad today, but
Oh, okay.
I'll show you. Everything is written out in Sibelius as a bass
Dope.
part. Which, if we were, which I could, I hand those to, I hand those to drummers, and they have some idea of not the form, and then what the bass line is. With the Rocksteady stuff, it's different. Everything's in forward.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. No. If there's something in 3, it like starts in 3, and then it's very much like goes into 4 after that. Like,
Right.
oh wait, no, I think Phyllis Dillon might have one song that like it state. Oh, what
Oh, close to you?
yeah.
I didn't get to that.
No, it's not in the chart. It's not in the. I'm
Oh.
saying of all the songs.
The Carpenter song.
Yeah, I think so. It's like me.
They long to be. It's got a 3/4 bar or something.
Yeah, that song's in 3. That's the only Rocksteady reggae song I've heard that is in 3, dedicated. Like entire song spends in a 3 feel. Otherwise, they might start in it and then for the intro, and then boom, break into that.
Right, which is why we came anyway.
Yeah,
Which is-
yeah. Now, Phyllis Dillon's "Close to You" is a beautiful song. No, not to take anything away, but it doesn't feel like a Rocksteady tune. It just feels like an old standard.
Yeah, I'm loving learning about that 70s soul, Jamaican pop reggae thing because Rocksteady, I didn't really know about any of it.
Yeah.
Um,
It started with like me just going so deep into Bob Marley like world. It's like his catalog that like I was only wanting to listen to like the most obscure stuff, and then somehow like Spotify, at the time I had Spotify, and it figured out it was like, oh, this is what you want. And it started, and I think the first album it gave me that was like in that era was the Gay Lads Soul Beat, which is just cover to cover. Every single song on it just is so beautiful. Like
with Glenn and Wanda Houston singing, we did "Wings of a Dove," which is early, just Bob and Peter. And Bob looks like 16 years old. He's wearing a suit.
Yeah.
Singing "Wings of a Dove," but I'm like, oh wait, that's Bob Marley. That's the voice.
Yeah.
And it's the Studio One band behind him.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll teach you all I know.
Beautiful, man. I'd love
Well,
that.
send me this. I'll make a chart on this
Yeah. Let me get that you
on this tune, and then
Oh my gosh.
I'll send it to you, and then I'll answer any questions you have. How about that?
That's
Except I'm going away for a week, so I won't be able to do anything for a little while. But
no rush. Yeah, this is all.
I'm also, I taught for a long time. I enjoy teaching. In some ways, I
Amen.
enjoy teaching as much and sometimes more than playing. So
No, and
I kind of miss it.
If we could do it in this format too, like just have cameras going, just so that we can document it. Like I could create content from it, so we could teach more than just me too. It would be like
Maybe.
a service to all the.
Maybe. I mean, they have to kind of see what I was doing.
Oh, we can make that all happen.
Sure we
Yeah,
can.
for sure. Yeah, I have so many cameras, dude.
And a recording, obviously.
Yeah.
And along with, for the
Yeah, of
to
course.
bring it to life, I'll need to hear it and see what you.
Let me see if I have just Black Canary as a chart. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna send you this. Okay. Why am I so confused? Where's like the share stuff? There we go. Okay.
The big blue.
It was hidden. It was like they
I don't. Yeah, maybe.
they had like this view as the
Oh,
default.
I see. Oh.
share. I'll just share it to you. Marc
Yeah.
Schied bass. Send it.
So that's the chart, right?
That's just the chart. This I'll have to print. Do you want to hear the drum check, by the way?
Yeah. Came this far.
Oh,
That's not a drum.
that's not a drum track. This is not the drum track, by the way. This is like my metronome drum track that I made. That's still not doing the thing.
Could be louder. More drums in the cans.
Not sure why they're grayed out. Everything's grayed out. Except, well, the guitar's playing though. That's odd. Okay. I'm missing something here. Oh, I'm solo. That's what I'm missing. Alright.
That time it was.
Oh, interesting.
Can you go back? That chorus again.
What was late?
I missed. Can you go back a little further? Beginning of the chorus.
Yeah, this is
I guess it's anticipated.
yeah, I think it's still anticipated. 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, right.
But I did the same thing. It shakes your brain.
Actually, could you take off the drums because it's so funky and unpredictable?
Yeah,
It's kooky.
Yeah.
It's cool. I mean.
Eventually, I want to get like a tiny drum kit in here,
Uh-huh.
and so I can just play over this. It's like a little Ludwig beatbox or something. Plus Ludwig. they're what everybody was copying when they started introducing live streaming, like Facebook and Instagram. And so it's a way of like you're pretty much it's all long format like live streaming content. And there's no like the feed is just people who are live streaming currently, and there's no like really they've started introducing things called clips or something, which is like their version of shorts or something where you can clip things, but it's really just about you just turn it on. And so it's mostly for gamers, like people that are like just playing Call of Duty, and they're gonna stream, and so they have like a little image of themselves in the corner here, and then while they're playing Call of Duty, and they're like talking to people in the chat, and they might just happen to be like top 10 in the world also. So it's like if you're not good at Call of Duty, it's like fun because you get to like hang out with this person who is playing this game that you like, but they're actually good at it, and you get to like enjoy. And so musicians started coming to it, especially during the pandemic, and yeah, so I kind of like figured I'm gonna be spending a bunch of time on my computer. Why not just like stream it as well?
So somebody in your contacts saw that you were streaming something and checked it out.
Yeah, so like I've made some friends on here. I was doing streams on like YouTube also, and just like, and then whenever I did it for like my Facebook or Instagram when I had those, it was like I feel like people aren't on those platforms for that. And I did YouTube for a couple sessions, and then one of the times I did YouTube, I also streamed on Twitch at the same time, and immediately like started getting engagement, like people like asking questions or like jumping in and like just posting little emojis or something like that. And it was just like, oh, this is what like people are here for, like you know what I mean? Not necessarily us talking about music theory, but like maybe like there's somebody who, but when they come here, they're here for live streaming long format content, right? Compared to like if you go to YouTube, you might be looking for long format content, you might even be looking for live stream, but there's, even though there's billions of people on YouTube using YouTube, it's still like how many of them are there for live streaming? And it's actually a small number compared to people using Twitch.
Gotcha.
Because that's all Twitch does.
Right.
So it's just like it makes sense to only live stream on this and then push content out to other things, and eventually make stuff from it. But yeah,
cool.
So it's cool.
What time it be?
It'd be, I'm gonna guess 4:35, 4:41.
All right. I was gonna leave at 5 unless you got something to do. You want to play some more?
Yeah, play some more. I'll play another song off of this body of songs I just sent you charts for. This one's called Boy Wolf.
That's the album?
Yeah.
Fables of Native Discovery.
Naive. And this is just a 14-bar blues.
Of course it is.
And instead of the 4 and the 5, we'll use the 3 and the 2.
Okay, and where's the... So where's the... Alright, you play it, and what key are we in? A?
E. gonna blow the town down. But that wolf hadn't shown, and not a single wind blown. So the townsmen stood their ground. Don't say I didn't warn you, said the boy. And the townsmen, they just laughed. Keep dreaming, boy. And that boy, well, he did. Boy, did he dream. There was a wolf. He woke, yeah. He said, I'm gonna blow this house down. And I don't care if your crib is made from sticks, straw, or bricks. I'm gonna blow your house to the ground. He was a boy till he howled at the moon. No longer would he offend her. The town ain't cared to beware until the boy grew out his hair. Boy, did the town grow scared. Go on, run, said the boy. And the townsmen, well, they did. House after house after house. No avail. Oh well. Go on, run. We'll drop the 2 bars from this. I am the wolf. I'm a wolf. I've been dreaming till now. I'm sorry for the wait, but the future is always late. And every hoe gets a stay. Turn around. I throw this hat down, take a good look around. See the bricks they've laid. Go on, run. Wanna stay on these.
That's cool.
Thank you. I like that song.
It's got a little Hendrix flavor to me. Maybe it's in your singing.
Probably, yeah. I would imagine. My dad is a Hendrix tribute artist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been doing it for like 48 years.
Ah, so you I heard something.
Yeah, I grew up with that, so it would be weird if there wasn't some influence there. But that's also the reason why I don't play any Hendrix music. Never learned a Hendrix song. I think I started to learn Little Wing at some point, but it's just like, yeah, if you're not gonna play with your guitar upside down, like, what's the point?
It's been done. But
amen.
Him as a singer, like after a while, I was like, oh, I'm waiting. I mean, of course, the guitar playing, of course.
Duh, yeah.
But then it's like I'm actually waiting for him to start singing, and there's so much emotion and blues in his voice, and phrasing. He's a great singer.
Amen. And he, there's another artist notorious for like not liking their voice too. And
Donald
then,
Fagen.
Yeah, until much later in his career, like learning to hone it. And so he did more like the kind of rapping, like in the beginning he was like more talking and the cool vibe, and then he like comes into his voice like later, and work. Like it's like actually I'm gonna sing this. Like this doesn't need to be.
Yeah, it didn't matter if it wasn't a big voice or a blues shouter or or a bigger range. It's like he wrote his own music. He approached music as a complete individual, and his voice, like nobody sang like him. And that, I didn't want him to sound like anybody else. I wanted him to sound like him. That's amazing. Your dad did that.
Does that? He's still fucking touring it. He's like pushing 70, but he gets out there and freaking does all the parlor tricks. He's like he plays upside down the way he played and just like the teeth behind the back stuff.
But Hendrix restrung it, right?
No.
So, because I was just getting into mono neon.
Yeah.
You familiar? Because
Yeah,
he's playing a righty bass flipped,
mm-hmm.
and the bass strings are down here and the treble strings are up here, and and he's slapping. And
I'm like, why are you slapping like that? Yeah.
Well, because he sounds completely original, because he's playing a different bass from everybody else.
And that's, him.
No, everything he does is original. Like the guy is obviously about that.
Yeah, he exudes originality. Yeah. But, it's what's it? Hendrix is like the voicings of his chords are going to be that much, like because he's strumming.
I didn't know it's still strung righty. He just flipped it.
And I think he could also play it strung correctly as well. Like he could play a left-handed guitar.
I don't know how people do that, man.
Yeah, so
that's amazing.
Yeah, he's just like inverted.
He just flipped his chording.
But
crazy.
Yeah. So I think the only other artist I've seen that has like recorded music out that does that was Elizabeth Cotton also.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I didn't know that about her. I know.
And again, it like leads to these crazy like her style of picking is just that much trickier to emulate as a right-handed guitarist. But so if you hear an influence of Hendrix, that's where that's from. That's where that's from. Actually, that's funny because that song originally started off as like a more of like a.
Okay. Yeah.
I want it to be like a country tune. And
it's nice that way too.
Yeah, somebody told me it's like, I was showing this to a jazz guitarist, amazing jazz guitarist. It was another person who was kind of like, yeah, you don't learn that stuff, man. Like, you no matter how long you stare at the paper, it doesn't make a song for you.
True as far as it is. Yeah. It's only reason I brought it up is because of this situation we find ourselves in.
Amen. And it's just I want it to be, especially because of the nature of the album. Like I want it to be like almost like open source. Like I want it to feel like anybody could like take elements of it and like plug into it and add a part to it. And so it'd be natural for it to be accompanied by like a comprehensive outlining of what's happening,
some kind of notation.
But and it doesn't have to be note for note what I'm playing, right?
All the dots.
I'd be fucking nuts to try to write that out, but I can tell you when the chords come in. Like that's easy.
You need what they call it, like a lead sheet or a master rhythm.
Yeah,
that just shows what the chords are, the meter is, form, and where the hits are.
See, I didn't have a word for that before.
I think that's what I call it. Or just really a lead sheet with hits. I don't know what it's called, but it's got bar lines, it's got beats.
I'm taking you up on your offer, man. Teach me this stuff, and
we'll see how it goes. If it's like annoying, you're like, I won't.
No, dude, I love.
I wouldn't be
shit.
offended. Yeah.
Yeah, I love learning shit. So, that's what it comes down to. Is like, in high school, I wasn't ready to sit down and learn this stuff. Also, my teachers were like, they bugged me, but but ultimately, I figured out that because I went to performing arts school, if I had a guitar in my hands, I could go anywhere. Because they just assume that I was like practicing or something or doing something related to a show or something. Because there's always a concert happening. There's always something. So like if I'm just walking around with my guitar, they're like, oh, okay, he's like, don't bother. He's not cutting class. He's going to the rehearsal room, or he's doing he's got a guitar in his hands. He's doing something important. And once I figured that out, like I would just like keep my guitar, and I would literally go to school to like hang out with friends, go to gym because I love gym, go to lunch, and I loved lunch, and I'd go to 3 different lunch periods, and then I'd otherwise be cutting class playing guitar and writing songs, and yeah, that was it.
So yeah, this is where I confess that I went to Juilliard. I have a master's from Juilliard, so I'm used to like, and I went to Rutgers undergraduate, and wasn't a music major, but I mean I played in orchestras, I played in jazz band.
My dad went
classes.
to Juilliard, I think. Yeah.
Okay, who's your dad?
James Austin.
James Austin.
Yeah, that's generic as a name.
Right.
Jimmy Blue he goes by now, but
okay.
Yeah.
And he went for
music.
I mean, what is it?
Guitar, I'd imagine. But I don't know.
It would have been classical guitar at that time. There wasn't a jazz department until 1992 or something like that.
Interesting.
Did he go, or was composition or voice or guitar? If it was guitar, it was classical.
Interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, he plays a mean classical guitar too.
Okay.
Dude, he's the best guitarist I know. But yeah, I don't know. I should sit down with him and learn more about his history. Actually, I should not draw a blank on that question. Yeah, because I'm tremendously proud of him.
No, I only mention it because it's interesting because you're coming from such a creative thing, and a self-taught or a inner, you're like playing and seeking out your own knowledge and coming up with your own notation. And I came through like the most regimented.
Yeah.
This is how we do things. And then playing, I've been playing Broadway, which is about execution. It's not, and knowing style, but it's not about, there's no creativity in the note choice. I'm playing somebody else's notes. So we're like,
great.
Or we're like more like this. We're more like this.
We're meeting in the middle.
We're meeting. Yeah, it's meeting
and
got things to teach each other.
And that's something, and maybe it's similar for you then, that you're yearning for more raw, like unregimented. But that for me, like I've definitely been like I said, I'm trying to like make a songbook. So that's like I can look at that and see, oh, that's missing from that, like. And so I've definitely been going more towards, especially after learning. What it started with was like I working with this guitarist, another one of the best guitarists I know. His name's Sam Garrity. You'll probably run into him at some point. Local guy. He's from Great Barrington, and I'm like, hey, can I take a guitar lesson from you? He's like, yeah, of course, dude. And he's like, what do you want to learn? I was like, I just need a new scale, man. I only know like the major scale and like a blues pentatonic scale. Like that's it. And he's just like, oh, okay. The good news is you know all the scales then. if you have that scale, then you can do like all you gotta do is just start from a different point. Like it's not. He's like, I used to think of it as like all these different constellations. Every scale's a different constellation. It's just one set of stars, and you just choose which one you start on, and that gives you all the different feels. And I was just like, why the fuck did no one tell me that? Like, I was like going around.
Do you know the modes of major and the modes of like minor?
So like, I mean, wait, modes of major versus modes of minor.
Yeah, like so, like so like in the C major scale, those notes C to B.
Yeah.
If you start on, you get Dorian. If you start on the second.
Yeah. Okay. So I know those, but.
And then minor too.
In minor?
Yeah, there's modes of minor.
So how does that work?
So C, we're in C. C. I don't know which one people do, but they do both. But I mean, so melodic C D E flat F G A B C. So a major scale with a flat 3, right?
Yeah. Okay.
C D E flat F G A B C. So starting D to D. D, E flat, F, G, A, B, C, D.
I always assumed that the minor scale was just the major scale starting from 6.
Well, that's one form. That's natural minor or Aeolian. But I mean, in classical music and the way there's 2 other forms of minor. There's melodic minor. So that mean so that be that would be root second, flat 3, 4, 5, natural 6, natural 7, octave, and then on the way down, the 7 and 6 are flat. Flat 7, G, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then harmonic is...
Wait, so how come
So it goes up and... Because, well, it's called melodic, so that's a tendency of, in classical music, for that in the top half of the scale, the gravitational pull would be towards the root. So A natural, B natural resolving to the root, and then coming down, the pull is to the fifth. So it's resolving. I don't know why they came up with it, but even more interesting is but that one's kind of weird. So jazz players, I didn't go to jazz school for it, but they just call it jazz melodic minor. So it's just it's just the ascending. Just C, D, E flat, natural 6, natural 7. So that's a different form of minor because if that was from the major scale is E flat major for that C minor, right? So it would have the A flat. So this gives you the A natural.
And C minor.
But the really fun one is harmonic minor.
Uh-huh.
That's flat 6, natural 7. And that gives you the Egyptian, that's the snake charmer one. Yeah, with the augmented second in between. So you do the modes of that, and you get all kinds of interesting jazz chords.
Oh, you kind of are filling in another blank.
Like the minor major 7 comes from the third degree of that.
Uh-huh.
On E flat, because you would have E flat, G, B flat, D nat. Wait, is that right? No, that's the one chord would be minor with the major 7. But the third, you get interesting chords from that one. Sorry. And here you get augmented major 7 from the third, from E flat. So E flat, G, A, no sorry, E flat, F, G, A flat, B natural, C, D, E flat. So that's where it comes from.
Wow. That's like...
So check out the modes of...
I stopped like a lesson short with him of like, that was the part that was missing for me. Is like, okay, I get how like to pull major, minor, and diminished chords from the scale. Like, then where am I pulling? What's the scale that corresponds to augmented chords? What's the scale that corresponds with
harmonic minor? Modes of harmonic minor.
Wow. So harmonic minor does both the augmented and the major minor 7.
Yeah. Minor major 7.
Minor major 7. I mean.
Yeah, from the root.
Wow. Beautiful.
But that's more. I mean, you know.
And so wait, what are we doing to get to him?
So it's
flat 6,
natural 7.
Is that what they're using in
Which
Gypsy Man?
Yeah. There you go. Okay.
A minor.
Yeah. Harmonic minor. I mean, I think there's all those chromatic, all those scales just express that you can mess with the second, the fourth, the sixth, the seventh. It still sounds minor.
Yeah.
If you start altering the major, it starts to not sound major anymore. You know, it gets more. In terms of Western classical, it starts to sound like something else.
Mm-hmm.
But all those, you know, if you're a D minor. All those notes are legit, you know. I mean, they don't offend the ear. It doesn't change the minor feeling.
But
But
when
in
we're
major, it starts to not sound like. Now, in major is. If it's. All of a sudden, it's like not. It's polluted. It's not that effect.
Interesting. I have like always just treated like, okay, if it's minor, it's actually just major. 3.5 steps up. like that's just always in my head. It's like.
Oh, minor's a feeling.
For sure. No, and when it's but at least when I'm writing, I tend to, even though I have a lot of songs that have a melancholic feel, I still keep a strong relationship to what I consider the one chord versus like I've always written minor tunes from the perspective of like that actually there. It's not this minor key. It's this major.
It's the relative major.
Yes, this relative major key.
Well, they used to do that. People would say it's an F, even though it's really in D. First chord's D minor and last chord's D minor. They say it's an F because it shares a key signature. But I think, to the way I was taught and the way I'm used to when I look at a chart or when I'm hearing something, it's a key.
Yeah.
D minor's a key.
It's a vibe. Yeah. Oh,
and also it's going to have an A7, so you're going to introduce a C sharp.
How you
know? Well, if I'm in, I'm going to play, D minor, and then play resolution in the C sharp 7. A7. There's my C sharp. So that's not contained in to say it's an F. Doesn't account for the C sharp. The key signature is not going to have the C sharp, but I know in D minor I'm going to have a 5 chord, and it's going to have the raised. It's going to have the C sharp. So it's. I don't think about it like I'm in F land. I'm in D minor land, and as they say in Spinal Tap, the saddest of all the keys.
What?
D minor. Wow. You don't know Spinal Tap chapter and verse?
I didn't watch it. No. I feel like seeing like blurbs from it, but I've never watched it.
Well, he's the metal guitar player is sitting, the lead guitar, Nigel Tufnell is sitting at the piano and he's playing this very simple but lyrical and beautiful little thing. And then the interviewer goes, he's talking about, he's like, wow, it's really a departure from the heavy metal stuff you do. He's like, yeah, and he starts a bit. He's like, yeah, it's Mach. I call it a Mach piece. I'm heavily influenced by Mozart and Bach. And it's in D minor, the saddest of all keys. You play it and people weep instantly. He's like, it's beautiful. What's it called? Lick My Love Bump. The movie's funny, man. But anyway, that's a lot of musicians, you say D minor and they say saddest of all keys. That's what it's from. That said, I don't know if people are really, like putting scales on top of chords usually sounds like scales on top of chords. Like music isn't, it's more like, somebody was saying, it's like, I think more arpeggios or just melodic sequencing, or trying, but I mean, it does in some ways it kind of can organize, like, I'm in the D minor, I'm in this D minor, tonal center, and now I'm going to go to F, or I'm going to go to G major, or something like that.
That's why, like, okay, like, and I guess, that's how I would have figured out, okay, well, if I'm playing B augmented, right, like, okay, I have my first, what's my third, that's what it was confusing. It's like, okay, why do I have this, what is it, a sharp 5?
In augmented, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so why do I have the sharp, or flat 6, whatever you want to call it?
No, it's augmented, because you're augmenting.
Yeah.
So it's raising the 5th. It's the same note. I mean, it's just for those people keeping score.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. So why are we, so how do I arrive there in a scale? And so...
Well, and how does it function in harmony? Oh, you're trying to say, so B augmented, so that would be from what I was just saying. That would be from
the third, so this would be the third.
just stack the thirds.
Context. That was the word I was looking for.
Wow,
Context.
better. Wow, so some part of your brain in the back was like still.
No, because I was like, oh, so that means like in this song that's an E, right? Because I play that chord in this song that goes.
It was going to A. Yeah, so that's context, and that's how. Same with Georgia, the second chord of the standard Georgia. Georgia, do do do. Go. It's that 3 augmented going to 4. I mean, it's like a harmonic cliche, not in a bad way, but it's just something we've all heard many times.
Yeah, I use it as a 5th in this case. Right?
Okay.
E. And so I was like thinking, it's like,
oh, you're using B augmented as a 5.
Yeah.
So it's like it's an altered 5.
Exactly, and so it's funny because I'm playing G.
There it is.
7. Yeah,
right.
G sharp 7, but really in the context of having that be, it would be a.
So that's like a secondary dominant to the A.
Exactly. Wait, secondary dominant.
Dominant. Well, it's like a dominant to the A. It's like an E. So 5 goes to 1. So you're approaching that A. You can approach the A from a 5th above, like E down to A. So if A is the target where we're going.
No, and this song's an E.
Right.
Okay.
But that move going to A, right?
Yeah.
Right. So the approach to A.
Yeah.
The G sharp is functioning either like a G sharp diminished, like it's a half step below in bass player, or it's like a 5th above, like a dominant, a 5-1 relationship. E7 to A, but the G sharp is like one of the power notes from the E7 chord. So a 5 chord, like E7, resolves to A, but so does G sharp diminished, and they've got 3 of the 4 notes are the same. So in E7 you've got E, G sharp, B, D, right? Resolving to A. G sharp diminished, you've got G sharp, B, D, F, which is the flat 9. Missing all the gold.
I need to hear this when I watch this back.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're going to watch it back, so we're in the key of
E originally.
Let's say, okay, we'll do it in E. Well, let's just, okay, in E. So,
I chose augmented completely, like, arbitrarily. Just like, I was just like, originally it was like a pop punk song, and so it was like just.
So it's a color tone.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, no way that in 10 years I'm gonna be happy with that. So like, let me just do all 7s, and then this didn't sound right. So I just
needed some flavoring. Right.
Augmented. So, it wasn't. I wasn't thinking in terms of, oh, this augmented is gonna, tie in with this. I didn't know that there was a relationship between this and this note.
Yeah.
Which I guess, it's the 3.
I think.
E.
Yeah, I guess the principle is like if chords share like 3 notes, the more notes they share, the more interchangeable they are.
Yeah.
And the more accepts, because we were fundamentally hearing the same bunch of notes, and then the other notes become like color tones.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why 5 goes to 1?
5 goes to 1. Why 5 goes to 1?
Why does 5 go to 1?
We have, let's just
pick a key.
E, F, G, A, B, C. So 5 is
Why does G go to C? Or G chord, G7? I'll make it easier. Not easier, but I'll be more specific, less mysterious. Why does G7 want to resolve to C major in classical music? Yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, because the 7 is the 4?
The 7 is the 4.
The dominant 7 of G is A, right? Which is the 4, so it's like. Oh, sorry.
I'll show you what I mean. So we're in C major, right?
Okay, yes, C major.
Right. So if you make chords out of each chord tone,
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it a little clearer. C major, C major 7, right? D, F, A, C, minor 7 on the 2.
Okay.
And then minor 7 on the 3. So we've always had a fifth, a perfect fifth between the root and the fifth.
Yeah.
Same thing, fifth, F major. It's gonna have a fifth. I'm sorry, the wrong fifth. The fifth is sorry, I messed it up. The fifth is between the third and the seventh. So E and B on the C chord.
Wait, second.
So in that C major chord, there's like 2 fifths. There's a C and a G, and an E and a B.
Yes, okay, yeah.
Perfect fifth. So there's a fifth there.
Oh, okay.
F to C.
Yeah.
E minor. Between G and D. We're going to get to one that's dissonant. So that's A on the F major chord. We have A and E natural, perfect fifth. But on this one, we have
we get a flat fifth.
flat fifth.
And that's,
So the idea is, and then continue. We'll come back to that one. So A minor is like another minor 7, just like the 2 and the 3. And then the 7th is also weird. We also get we have the flat fifth between the root and the
bottom.
fifth.
Yeah,
right.
Okay.
So 2 of these things are not like the others.
Yeah.
The 5 and the 7.
And they both lead to the
And they
one.
have the dissonance.
Yeah, that's
So the
why.
way they teach it in conservatory is, so if I'm that the 5 goes to 1 because of the resolution of the tritone.
Beautiful. Okay.
And here's how it resolves. The way the most natural, if you were singing, the most natural resolution is by half step off of a dissonant note. So the 7 goes to 3, and then the third goes up to the root. So
Wow.
yeah, so even without the root, even without that, we still the tritone between the 3rd and the 7th is like the engine. That's the dissonance that gets resolved. When you get to blues, it's not dissonant anymore. It's a tonic.
Yeah. How do you mean it's a tonic?
Because we don't end, because that can be the last chord. It's all blues is all 5 chords.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, whereas if it was Mozart, it would only be on that D7. It would only, or whatever, the 5/7, flat 7 is only a dominant
you're
function.
saying, no, in blues it's all 7 chords.
It's all 7th chords.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and unless it's like a jazz blues that has that major 7 once in a while for
Yeah.
variation.
Yeah.
But like folk music and blues music and reggae music and funk music, it's, you know, we're used to hearing it as a tonic.
Yeah.
But in classical music, where that stuff, one of its ancestors, classical music, church music, it was used for dissonance, and it was used very carefully. But that's why 5 goes to 1. So also, in the key
I never
of C,
considered, because the 5 is the most harmonic you can possibly get to a note. It's like,
well, tension. That's the tension. And
but I didn't consider that was wise, because it was actually
tension and
a
release.
Point. Yeah.
Tension and release, which is also why you put the flat 9 and the sharp 9 and all the alterations. You can do that augmented thing like you did. Yeah. On a 5, you can even play the 4th. The one thing you can play the major 3rd, the minor 3rd, and the 4th. You know, you can. Yeah. There's no rules, because the idea is to make it sound in traditional music that it was tension and release.
Dope.
Classical music painted itself into a corner because they kept stacking dissonance until around 1890s, until Wagner, and the orchestra got so big and the chords got so big and there was so many stacked, it was almost like the whole chromatic scale.
Yeah, being played at
once. So it's like, where do you go from there? And
yeah.
then music kind of exploded because they basically exhausted that tonal manipulation, but that's resolution of the tritone is why 5 goes to 1, and that's how it works.
That's so dope.
Voice leading, and then the same thing, and then so in a way, a 7, the 7th of the major scale, like the B, so the B half diminished in C major, has a dominant function because it's got the B, D, and the F.
Okay.
And then it's got an A, so that could be like a G9. So, a G9 is equal to a B half diminished because they're doing the same thing and they got the same notes.
It's just which one is the root.
It's different voicing. Yeah, it's just which one's the root. That's it.
Yeah. Dope.
For what it's worth. If it gets...
That's worth a lot. No, I mean, definitely, like, we're starting to reach the ceiling of my, like, comprehension, but, like, I'm getting glimpses of it. Like, I'm like, okay, like, that makes sense.
It's sort of tying chords together,
yeah,
along with scales and notes, if it makes things clear. And then I guess, like, you're playing your guitar and you're recording and you have this immediacy to your music, but then it's like, you call me in here, or, whether it's rhythm stuff or harmonic stuff, it does help to find that common language. And as we were saying with Ultimate Guitar or your lead sheets or some, the song should, Google what's the song, chords and lyrics. Yeah, you get it, but the rhythm, arguably, is the thing that people respond to the most. So like, it's kind of like the most important bit of information. Yeah. And I'm speaking as a bass player.
Yeah.
Who had to learn this eventually the hard way, because as a double bass player, all you're thinking about is with the bow and everything is being in tune. And classical music, the rhythms are square. So it's half note, quarter,
yeah.
Am I in tune? And that's most of the bandwidth. But to play pop music, to play interesting music, to play in a groove, the rhythm is the whole thing. To play black music, to put it frankly, or music that's derived from African music or Caribbean music, it's the rhythm is the most important thing. So a notation system that doesn't show it, if you and again, like writing out every single strumming pattern and every single ghost note of the bass player, it's not necessary. But what is the groove?
Yeah, and
what's anticipated?
That's also for me. It's like I take that for granted because I can just hear a rhythm and mimic it. Like
right.
And it's like my hands just kind of know what to do without me having to put any cerebral energy into figuring that out.
And it can be frustrating and it can be time consuming to try to write the shit down.
Sure, but like great, like that's a frustration I'd love to get into because like it's new, for me.
Oh well, you come to the right place.
Great, yeah, man, that's amazing, man. Thank you for sharing your wealth of freaking rhythmic perception. I think we're probably past 5 at this point.
I think it's that time.
I do believe. Yeah, it's 5:22.
I'm getting on a 6 a.m. flight tomorrow.
Awesome, dude.
Plane's going off. Alarm's going off at 3:30. It's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah, I used to work for a moving company, so that was just. That was my Tuesdays,
Oh, Jesus. You want to undo me, or am I free?
Yeah, I got you.
I want to pop.
I like this mouse. This is my first day trying it. It's vertical mouse.
Vertical mouse.
And it is the jam.
Yeah.
I won't mute that. All right, you're good to go.
Can you do me on the other end? Oh, too late.
What?
Didn't work.
I guess Oh, you're in track. You're in one. I muted my guitar.
It was such a good try.
All right. Thank you for tuning in, those of you who came and hung out. Definitely big shout out to Lieutenant Lumpy and to Vex for following and for hanging out, respectively. See y'all next time. Peace, Twitches.
How'd you meet Ash?